Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paper Izzy, bringing you more human-generated art. And today I'm going to tell you about the scariest dream I ever had. Allow me to set the scene. I was about 3 or 4 years old in the big bedroom in my mom's trailer. It was the middle of the night, everything was dark, and I was laying in the bed, and I went to sleep. And while I was asleep this particular night, I had a dream where I was in a pitch black void. While I was in this void, I noticed a flame, and the flame grew into a man made of fire. This dream has scarred me for basically my whole life, as now I'm 32 and I still can remember it so vividly. Like I said, I was about 3 or 4 years old when this happened, and it shook me to the core. I don't know if it was the religion I was raised in, or being so young and not understanding the concept of dreams, or whatever it might be. It has definitely stuck with me. I always assumed that it was probably inspired by the painting from Mario 64 for Lethal Lava Land, but when I thought about it more when planning for this video, I realized that at the time that I had this nightmare, I don't even think Mario 64 existed yet. For me, that's almost more terrifying because my small child brain came up with this creature. And I can't help but wonder what really inspired it. Where did it come from? Why did I dream it? And it's so long ago now that there's no telling, honestly. And I've had nightmares since then, obviously. I've had really bad ones, really real ones. But for some reason, the one I always come back to is this one. It is just so terrifying and haunting, especially for being such a small child with limited knowledge of the world. And it just sticks with me to this day. So while drawing this man made of fire, he doesn't exactly look like he did in the dream. I have a hard time, creating exactly what he looked like, but I think that I got him very close. I really enjoyed drawing him. It was very cathartic, letting out this memory, this feeling, this idea, this monster that has haunted me for about 30 years. And I'm glad that I'm at the spot in my life where I can kind of draw and illustrate the things that scare me and the things that haunt me and the things that I can't forget. And I think in the last year, with the passing of my mom and grandma and the response to some of my more dark and uncomfortable artworks, has really showed me that I can let out a lot of these feelings and a lot of this imagery that scares me, and it really helps out in a way. And I've always said that about my art anyways. When I draw something, it's like I put it on the paper and I can let it out and not feel it because I've already expressed it. And I know that's not a new thought or a new concept. Art is always been seen as a way to let out your deepest fears and desires. But recently, as I said, I've really come to embrace that, and I really like it because I always want to be evolving as an artist with my ideas, with my techniques, with the tools I use and everything, and I really feel like I'm embracing it. And I've said before, I think my mom dying has kind of given my art purpose and given me something to work towards, a story to tell, and I'm glad to be telling it now. So this demon, this man made of fire, is sort of the mascot for that, I think. It's really me coming into the idea of creating darker works that express how I really feel. And I love cutesy artwork, and I will never not do cutesy artwork, and even the scarier, more disturbing things that I make always have sort of a cutesy twist to them, and I think that that's honestly more wonderful because it feels more like me. I have a lot of beautiful inspiration from cartoons to pop music, And I like that there's a brightness, a cuteness, a colorfulness to everything, but there's also sort of a darkness underneath. There's a lyric by Carrie Underwood, Candy Coated Misery, and I really relate to that lyric because I feel like it has described my artwork over the years of all my pain and sadness I let out in my art. But a lot of times no one can tell because it's very cute and it's very colorful, and unless you really get some of the visual nods and references, then you're not always going to know what it's about. And that's also another great thing for me, is I can let out things and, I understand them, but not everyone has to understand. And that's great. And sometimes I do want people to understand. Sometimes it's like when I draw something, I'm calling out for help. I'm screaming and crying and wanting someone to notice how I'm feeling because I can't say it. A lot of times when I draw, people ask, oh, what are you drawing? And I don't really know what to tell them half the time because it's like I'm drawing a person that represents a feeling or a character that is referencing an event, and characters that remind me of people in my life, and so on and so forth. And there's a lot of layers to it. And I just really love art and expressing my emotions and my feelings through it. And even the darkest ones can be beautiful. And I think that's another great thing about art, is being able to create something beautiful out of something terrible. And the terrible thing here, I guess, is the scariest dream I've ever had about this fire monster. And I really like how it turned out. I really like how I'm doing the smoke here. I wanted to do a black background, but I didn't want to do a full black background because, one, I don't want to destroy my new black marker, and I also would be annoyed having to color an entire background. And so I stuck with the smoke. I laid this black down first, and then I blended out with some gray later. And then I add some ashes flying off the smoke pile. Also, I would like to say sorry if you hear any noises in the background. I have not quite found a area in my new apartment to record my audio that is quiet enough. Right now I'm in my living room and it's pretty good, but there's been sirens. My dog's been doing dog things, and I'm sorry if it's distracted you. I know a few videos ago I mentioned that I did buy a microphone, but it is the worst microphone known to man, and it's really terrible.
He's terrible, Your Honor. He's really terrible.
Anyways, I used a lot of new markers for this drawing. That the black marker is new. The red and the light, almost pastel orange, is also new. And I feel like that really helped with bringing the artwork to life, is using fresh markers. My New Year's resolution last year was to not buy any new markers unless I was completely out of a color. And I only bought 3 markers last year, which is kind of crazy. I didn't think I could ever do that, and I'm still trying to not buy new markers because I have so many, and I'm trying to do better with that. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about my personal and artistic lore. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you press all the buttons and do all the things. Stay tuned for more human-generated art. And I'm your host, Paper Izzy, signing off. Until next time, adios amigos, and enjoy some of the beauty shots. Bye.